Oh, that's so cute! Ah! I can't handle the adorableness! Hi, I'm Steve Saylor, I'm blind, and if you're wondering how I'm able to play video games if I'm blind, if you take a look at the video here, you can be able to see exactly what I see when I'm playing video games. Hello and welcome to Blind Impressions, the show where I take a look at a game for the very first time, I look at its settings, play a little bit, and then I give my accessibility first impressions of the game. I am very excited for this video because today I get to show you Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Microsoft was gracious enough to provide me with an early access copy so I can be able to show you all the accessibility options that are available in this game so that hopefully you can be able to decide whether this game would be right for you. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Oh, look how adorable he is. Swallow's nest. We must protect him at all times. Oh, look how gorgeous this game is already. I've never played this before, so I don't know what this game's gonna be like. Is this gonna be like hurting me in the feels or like make me so happy, or I don't know. I mean, I like the different language and that it has subtitles for that, but for those with low vision, they probably would not have known what that actually says. Look how adorable that little baby is. Oh, it's a baby owl! At least I think it's a baby owl. Oh, that's so cute! Ah! I can't handle the adorableness! So let's take a look at the options. Settings, sound effects volume, music volume, analog stick dead zone. Oh, that's interesting that they put it there. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing this a lot more now. The analog stick dead zone. I don't know if that's just been a recent thing or that's been there all along, but I haven't seen a dead zone option a lot in games, but over the past few ones that I've played, it's been available and I like that. Okay, so vibration, I'm gonna turn that. Oh, you can adjust the vibration. Oh, you don't see this in games that often. I like this, that you can be able to adjust sort of the intensity of the vibration, which is great. Normally I just have, it's usually an on and off, but I like the fact that you can sort of adjust your comfort level. So I think I'm gonna adjust it to maybe that. So it's like, yeah, this. So it's a little, it's subtle, but it's not completely off. Uh-oh. Come here, buddy. Uh-oh, shoot. Oh no, did I die? Oh, dang it, I did. What was that? What did I do? I think I killed him, I guess. Jump onto blue moss to I got rid of my torch. Dang nabbit. Can I get the torch back? Uh-oh, I don't like the look of that at all. Okay. Guess I gotta go this way. Oh no! Run, Forrest, run! No! I can't run faster! Come on, jump! No! Oh! Oh no! Come on. Oh no! Oh no! Cool. All right, let's take a look at graphics. Motion blur, good for anyone that has a cognitive or even a visual disability where motion blur can be a bit of an issue. I'm gonna turn that off for my own personal sake. Okay, brightness and contrast. Okay, let's see what contrast is like. Ooh, I like that it sort of shows you how, I like this. I like this. That's interesting. I like that it sort of shows you when it's, when it's blended into the environment of how much contrast there is. And it's a slider too, which is great. I'm loving the use of sliders for this. This is fantastic. Let's see if brightness does the same thing. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, I like that. I like that you can customize this and be that granular with this. This is awesome. Okay, so controls. Doesn't look like I can adjust anything specifically. It says I can reset key bindings to default, but it doesn't allow me to change anything specifically for this. All right, so leaderboards. I mean, I'm not really a speedrunner for that one, but okay, sure. Achievements. Oh, okay, okay. It tells you, or shows you what achievements there. So it looks like that's kind of it for settings wise. I don't know. Maybe this is just in the pre-release version I have that I can't seem to adjust anything within the game controls. Or if that's going to be in the actual full version of the game, I don't know. But for some reason, I can't adjust anything on the game controls. All right, so that's it for options. I like it. Simple, works. We'll see how they do once we're in the game. But so far, so good. Nothing specifically accessibility related, but it doesn't have to be. I gotta do this over again. No, okay. Get the bastard! Oh! No! No! Oh! This is dangerous! This is dangerous! Oh shoot! And I already got hit. Come on! Oh, I died again! How did I die that quickly? Oh, dang it. Oh no, I'm gonna die. I died. Yeah. Yes! Yes! Ha ha ha! Suck it! Suck it! You! Ah! 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 That was nerve-wracking. All right, so let's discuss the accessibility of Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Man, that's a tongue twister in and of itself. So as you saw in the settings, there wasn't anything that was specific to accessibility, and even when you're getting into the gameplay, there was not really a lot of sort of accessibility options that you can be able to choose from, other than if you subscribe to I do of the idea that all settings are accessibility. There wasn't anything that was sort of, I saw that kind of was normally seen as accessibility options for this game, and the settings were kind of limited. Also, I'm not necessarily a fan of the easy, normal, and hard mode difficulty descriptions that are in this game. Ever since the Kira conversation last year, I generally kind of wanted to shy away from using those terms, mainly just because, at least regards to easy mode, it's very misleading, and I feel like at times it can sort of, it's been given a negative connotation when you want to be able to play a game in easy mode. In reality, you just want to be able to play the game either for the story or for just an enjoyable experience, and you don't necessarily want to be able to be seen as a negative aspect for playing in easy mode. Besides that, though, I'll talk about my experience when it comes to sort of low vision disability type first. I have to preface this up front that I am not a platformer guy. It's not that I don't enjoy the games, it's just that I can't do them. Ever since going back to the original Nintendo, I suck at platformers. I can never seem to be able to get the precise movements or jumps right to be able to move from level to level or from section to section. And unfortunately with this game, it's no different. I found myself many a times repeating the same section over and over again because I couldn't seem to grasp onto that ledge or jump onto that cliff or whatever that to help me progress further. And oftentimes I actually would be able to use sort of the dangers of the world, like the spikes or the thorns, to be able to just give myself that few seconds of that 1 second of invincibility, just so I can be able to try to be able to progress further into the next section because of just how hard it was for me to be able to continue forward. And that's where I found the majority of the difficulty for me was the platforming aspect, not necessarily the defeating of the enemies. There was a few sort of enemies that it took me a little bit to try to be able to figure out what the pattern was, and I couldn't be able to get the precise movements or attacks done in time to be able to do the most damage and be able to kill the enemy before they killed me. But I didn't find that as frustrating as I was when I would like miss a jump and have to basically repeat several sections over again just because I had fell from a place that would have been a normal easy jump, but it just wasn't for me. And so that's where I found the main frustration of the game. And could have done a little bit better when it comes to the platforming aspect? I think it could have. When you have the standard bar that was raised with Celeste and its assist mode, and what it did for even myself when trying to be able to play a platformer and be able to enjoy the game, and what it did for accessibility, when you have that standard and that bar set that high, unfortunately Ori of the Will-O-Wisp does not reach that standard to me. I think it could have done more, and I would have loved to have seen that progress, to progress the platforming genre further for more accessibility. But unfortunately with this game, it just it didn't do that for me. And I know that with the previous game, I had heard that obviously it was a lot more difficult, so I don't know whether it is easier or more difficult than the previous game. This is my very first Ori game, so I don't know what that's been like. From what I've been able to gather, I think probably if I had chosen the easy mode, I might have been able to progress a little bit further, but I don't think that, at least with the platforming aspects, I would have progressed much by this point. And also as well, within the 5 to 6 hours that I have played so far, when it comes to low vision, there's not a lot there that can help those with low to no vision when it comes to playing. Like, the contrast is pretty high, which is great, and it's a very beautiful and bright environment, and you can be able to customize that. But when it comes to sort of learning the story, a lot of the dialogue, there is voiceover, but it's done in its own language. And the only way to be able to know what's going on is the text that's on the screen that's telling you the story of the game. And unfortunately, for those who have lower vision or less vision than I do, that might be a deterrent. You may have not known what the heck is going on, so you might have need someone to be able to play with you to help you being able to play the game as well. And it was also, I did notice that there was a setting in there that I wasn't sure if it was done for this specific purpose, but I did notice that whenever you sort of hit a dead end in the level, depending on where you wherever you reach the dead end, I found that the audio actually kind of moved from one side of the speaker or headphones to the other side, depending on where you were. Which is great to be able to let me know, okay, I've reached a dead end on the left side. I can now need to move back to get back to the area and hopefully find a different path to be able to reach. So I thought that was a cool aspect for those with low vision to be able to, like, if they're using audio to move around, that's great. But when it comes to knowing where the platforms are, where the ledges are, where even the dangers are, especially with the thorns that are around the entire world, it doesn't do enough to be able to let you know that you're about to be in danger. The enemies have a nice distinct sound effect, so you can be able to at least know when they're nearby, and they can kind of, and it also moves from left to right speakers, at least in my playthrough, so I can tell where they are. But when it comes to the actual platforming itself, it doesn't do anything for low vision. When it comes to deaf and hard of hearing, I think actually it does improve quite well. The subtitles are really large. You can even customize the high contrast to make it a little bit easier when in the settings for you to be able to play. As far as anything that was specific to that you need sound in order to be able to hear, there was one section where I had to be able to use an arrow to be able to hit a sort of an orb that was off the side, and I could hear that there actually was a platform being moved, but I didn't see what was actually happening. Until I was able to lower the water level so that I can be able to actually see what was going on. And I feel like if you're deaf and hard of hearing, you wouldn't have been able to know that. You might have been able to sort of figure out another way around so that you can be able to lower the water level so you can see those platformers. That was the only time I really saw that audio would kind of played an effect that might be difficult for deaf and hard of hearing. As far as motor disabilities, now generally when I'm playing, I don't usually have a lot of hand fatigue when it comes to games. Usually maybe after like 7 or 8 hours of a play session, my eyes will get fatigued, or sometimes my hand will get a little bit sore, but generally I can just leave for a little bit and then come back, and I can usually jump back in again, and I'm usually okay. But I found that actually about 5 to 6 hours in, after a specific section where I was really struggling to try to be able to get past this one platforming section where you had to not only jump, but then double jump and then dash to get to certain platforms, I had to repeat that so many times. I think I probably spent about maybe an hour just trying to get past this one section. And by that point, my hands started to really hurt, and I can only imagine what it would be like for those with motor disabilities and have very limited movement in their hands, or have either nerve damage in their hands. This might be a little bit difficult for you to be able to play, at least just based on the controls that were available. Granted, now in my version of the game, it didn't look like that there was a lot of customization or remapping of controls. It did have a button on the controls settings menu that said you can be able to reset the sort of remapping of the controls, but to me it looked like it was just more of a splash screen, and you couldn't really interact with the controls as well. So I don't know if that's something that's being added into either the final version of the game or in the day one patch that might change that. So I don't want to necessarily give a great rating to motor disabilities. I would recommend probably going to caniplaythat.com until they so that they can be able to probably have a motor disability review of Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and I would probably wait for that if you're a little bit concerned about hand fatigue or just being able to remap the controls. But at least in my version of the game, I couldn't remap the controls at all, so I can't really give that as a recommendation. Now, just in general for the game, I did like it. I think it's a really cute story. I fell in love with the characters, even though I've never played it before, like Ori before. It sucked me in with the prologue. I was kind of really happy to be able to jump in. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep going, just because of just how difficult the platforming is for me personally. If you find that platformers are just harder for you to be able to play, I probably wouldn't recommend this game for you. But one of the beauties of this game is that it is going to be released on Xbox Game Pass. So if you have that and you just want to give it a try, I would recommend at least downloading it and playing it and see what you think from that aspect. It does some things for accessibility well, and some things it doesn't. So I can't really give this a full recommendation from my perspective, but there might be something in there that you might want to be able to at least try for yourself and see if it's something that is worthwhile being able to play. So that would be my suggestion for this game. That being said, though, I probably will. I want to keep playing. I'm probably going to go back into it and keep playing it today, now the game is out, so I'm really excited for people to be able to see it and play it and kind of give your thoughts. And actually, if you do play this, I would love to be able to know your thoughts on this when it comes to accessibility. If you leave a comment down below or just hit me up on Twitter at Steve Saylor, I would love to be able to continue the conversation that way. And if there's certain things that I missed, if there's certain things you thought I was incorrect about, please feel free to let me know. I'm only one person. I don't know every sort of aspect firsthand of disability, so being able to have that information to me from someone who has a specific disability, I'd love to be able to hear your feedback on it. Thank you so much. Again, if you like this video, click the like button or smash it if that's what you're into. If you want to be able to see when new videos come out, you can click the subscribe button, and if you want to be notified when new videos come out, hit the notification bell icon. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. As always, I remain obediently yours. Bye.